it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle between Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. It's going to be a game of chess every single time they meet up.
You got the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, it is what it is. We already know that defense is stacked. They lost a lot, but did they really lose a lot? They have a lot of returners. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people are not mentioning, and why people don't bring it up, is not only did they lose Amir White and James Cook, right? They're two running backs. But they lost probably their best pass catcher to the transfer portal on Jermaine Burton. Jermaine Burton is now on Alabama. So how much of this is really going to be a factor for them? I don't know what the impact is going to be. So they do have a 6-year senior. We heard this a lot from Wake Forest. How many 5th and 6-year seniors did they have last year? Yeah. Stetson Bennett is back for his 6th season with Georgia. So you have your man. You have the guy that got you to the promised land outside of the front seven. Came in, did what he was supposed to do. And, you know, when I really think about it, you know, their special teams is also very special as well. So here's kind of like my roll-up analysis on Georgia was. Georgia's talent level gives them a higher floor and a high ceiling. Smart's crew will be big, fast, physical on both sides of the ball. It's never easy to replace the amount of production the Bulldogs lost when all that winning that they had last year in the draft. But finding leadership will be key for navigating yet another workable schedule this year. And I think here, I just threw a little nugget in there for you. Even though we're not talking about national rankings, I think they end up like number 3, still making the CSP this year. Sorry, CFP this year. So that's what I have as my East winner. Coach, who you got?
Let's keep the train rolling around. Let's go. We on Georgia. The Bulldogs in this division, not even really close, too much close in this division right here. Let's see. They got Oregon. They're gonna smack Oregon in the mouth. Then they got a scrimmage game, the very next game against Sanford right here. They got Spencer Rattler, who is garbage, who is absolute garbage. They go to South Carolina. They play Kent State. They play Vanderbilt. I mean, they play Auburn, who doesn't really have a good quarterback too much. They got Papa Sore, Florida. They got Florida. They got Tennessee, Coach Ball, my boy Coach Balls. They got Kentucky, who's a very underrated team. Kentucky, who's a very underrated team, and you already know who they got to kick the end of the season off with. The Georgia Tech. They do that every year. Last year, they gave up a whopping 9 points per game, 9.5 points per game. That is number 1 in all of college football. They scored 38 points per game, which is 36 in the country. They run it back by committee every single year, which is 190.9 points per game. Rushing yards on the ground and 251.9 passing yards, which is 51 in college. So again, this is really not even a close call right here. So I'm going to go with Georgia in this division.
I'm on the Bulldog train, man. I'm going with the number 1 defense in the nation last year.
Die on this hill alone.
Now, no one loses that many players on defense and actually gets better. So thank you to the schedule makers. No Alabama or Texas A&M. They will have to deal with Oregon to start the season and could slip up somewhere else. I'll throw one out there just to make Papa happy. It could be Florida.
Do it.
It could be Tennessee, perhaps. Save that for later. Florida is almost there too, but too many defensive losses and scheme change on offense to say, that they're going to win it this year. But do watch out for Florida. But I got Georgia taking the East.
I'm gonna keep it rolling with the Bulldogs, Georgia Bulldogs, right here.
Okay.
I'm thinking they're the only pretty much team that can cause Alabama the trouble. Again, the defense was number one at 9 points per game. I don't know if they still give up that 9 points per game, but like I said, Bryce Young has a tendencies of struggling against big time teams. He struggled. He struggled twice against. He struggled against. Definitely struggled twice against Georgia. Even though he came on strong in the second half of that game, and he struggled in the national championship against them. He struggled against, Auburn. You got to take all that in consideration, but he still managed to get the job done in big time situations. But I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle between Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. It's going to be a game of chess every single time they meet up. But again, I'm going to keep the Bulldog rolling right here. I'm going to go with Alabama. That's definitely going to be. I'm going to go with Georgia. That's definitely going to be the toughest matchup for Alabama. It's going to cause them more problems than probably any team. But like I say, Alabama has some tendencies. They're also losing big games as well. Like they can lose to A&M again. They can lose to A&M again. They can definitely lose a game to Florida, which is Florida should have beaten them last year. They should have beaten them last year. They had too much turnovers in the first half. Emory Jones was terrible in the first half of that game last year. Then I believe it came down to at least a extra point or a 2-point conversion that they definitely missed out on. In that game. So Alabama is not as scary as everybody. It's not as scary like they used to be. They're not that actual shut down defense that everybody used to be. They did give up 20 points per game, so it was some little bit gaping holes in that defense last year, but the defense was still good. Otherwise, led by Christian Harris and Will Anderson last year too as well. But I'm gonna go with the Georgia Bulldog. But I think definitely Alabama could win this game as well. But I'm gonna take Georgia.